you choose to live and work here?
I chose to live here because it was right up the street from the job and neighborhood and didn't seem that bad to me. And worked here. It was closer than where I was before. The job was closer, so that's quickly got a transfer.
Okay, what do you do for a living?
I manage McDonald's. I've been there about 6.5 years now.
What do you consider the general social class of this neighborhood to be?
It could be mid class. I mean, it all depends. They got a lot of different people in there, but not necessarily low or high. It's just comfortable living.
Okay, how does it compare to other neighborhoods in Hillsborough County?
I think it's about the same.
Okay.
You know?
Do you know many of your neighbors?
I do.
Do you think this neighborhood is safe? Why or why not?
Actually, I do. I haven't had any problems in my neighborhood. You know, I haven't necessarily, you know, I've been here for a while. I haven't had any problems.
Okay.
It's kind of quiet.
What do you think could be done to make this neighborhood safer?
Safer? Maybe a patrol here and there around, you know, nothing too much.
Okay, what are the schools like in this neighborhood?
The schools?
What is the general level of educational attainment in this neighborhood? So what do most people hold as far as like diplomas and degrees?
Diplomas?
So would it be like high school diplomas, associate degrees, bachelor's?
I would go as far as a high school.
Okay.
And maybe some college.
Do you think education is important?
I really do.
Okay.
I mean, you know,
What is the racial makeup of this neighborhood?
mostly blacks, but most of my neighbors are white.
Do you think that has any bearing on the social class of the neighborhood?
Not really. No.
Okay. Do people spend a lot of time working on their homes and yards in this neighborhood? Why or why not?
No. I mean, you know, I'm not home as much, and I just sometimes I don't have the time for it.
What kinds of businesses are in this neighborhood?
This neighborhood, you have a couple of car lots around, a lot of mattress places, a lot of used furniture, you know, companies like that. Politically, Democratic.
Okay. Do you think this neighborhood is particularly religious?
A couple of churches here and there, so I would think so.
Okay. Do most people in this neighborhood have access to good health care? How healthy are the people, and what about dental care?
Well, I don't have dental insurance myself, so I mean, I'm generally healthy if you ask me.
Is there somewhere else in Hillsborough County you'd rather live?
New Tampa, kind of like that area.
So you'd rather like live in the suburbs type thing?
Yes, in a way.
But how long have you lived here?
For almost 3 years.
Okay. What do you do for a living?
I'm a manager at McDonald's.
Okay. What do you consider the general social class of this neighborhood to be?
Maybe the middle class.
Okay. Do you think the neighborhood is safe?
Yes,
Why?
because of the people that live here. We all work.
Is there a lot of crime?
No, there only been one major crime since I've been here.
And what has that been, Campion?
Somebody has stabbed somebody. They got into an argument, but it actually happened off property, and they actually came on property with it. But that was the only bad crime. But
Okay. What are the schools like in this neighborhood?
oh, they're excellent. You have ACC, you have the Lato, you have Lato Elementary. They're pretty good schools.
What's
These
that?
schools.
Okay. What is the racial makeup of this neighborhood?
Oh, Spanish.
Do you think that has any bearing on the social class of this neighborhood?
Yes.
Okay. Do people spend a lot of times like working on their homes and stuff, or like you know, make sure it's upkept and don't throw stuff around? Okay. What way does the neighborhood lean politically? So like if you was to guess like who they voted for, would it be like Democrat or like Republican?
I would say about 75% Democrat, 25% Republican, Christian.
Okay. Do you think that people in this neighborhood have access to good health care?
Yes.
Okay, what about dental care?
Oh, I mean, I believe they have like good insurance and stuff.
Okay. What do you feel are the major problems in the city? What do you like about this neighborhood?
But it's quiet.
Is there somewhere in Hillsborough County you'd rather live?
Riverview, that's like, or Brandon area.
How long have you lived in this neighborhood?
I've lived in this neighborhood for about 6 months now.
Okay. And what do you consider the social class of this neighborhood to be?
I would say it's middle class. It's
Do you know your neighbors?
yes, there hasn't been any history of violent crime in the area. It's just kids breaking in and like taking bicycles or stuff like that.
Okay. What are the schools like in this neighborhood?
The schools are actually excellent. I know as far as my kids, they go to a school that's less than a mile from here, so a lot of times we'll walk, especially when it's nice outside.
Okay.
The scores that they've received on the testing and like when you go online and check, see how the schools are graded, they seem to be very good schools.
All right. Well, would you think that education is important in a high social community?
Yes, absolutely.
Do you see your other neighbors working on theirs as well?
Yes, yeah.
All right. So what kind of businesses are in this area?
Well, there's actually really convenient. There's a supermarket. Publix is definitely within walking distance.
To get healthcare?
Yes, simply because as retirees, I'm assuming they're probably.
Do you think that there's any major problems in this neighborhood?
No, I don't think so. There's.
Is there somewhere else in this county that you would actually prefer to live? Or
We live here because of the schools. It's close. It's very close to where my wife works, and it's close to the beach, which is key for me. Close to the beach is very important for me. So, so I'm happy.
sorry, why did you guys choose to live here of all places?
I don't know, close to Clearwater. Nice.
What do your parents do for a living?
My mom's a bartender and my dad owns a glass company.
Alright.
Like where they fix windows and stuff.
What would you consider the social class of this neighborhood to be like?
Just regular middle class, probably.
Okay. And do you by chance know your neighbors around here?
No, I met them all, but never talked to them.
Okay. Would you consider this a safe neighborhood?
Yeah.
Alright. And what are the schools like around here?
Well, we have our school's a university, the high school.
Okay.
It's got a medical program and IB program. It's like one of the better schools in our area.
Alright. And what would you say the average level of education is in this neighborhood?
I'd say, I don't know, like most of them have been in college and graduated.
Okay. Do you think education is important?
Depends what you want to do.
Okay. So, what do you consider the social class of your neighborhood to be like?
Well, I think it's pretty diverse. As you can see, we live on the water here, so It's a relatively upper middle class area.
Do you actually know your neighbors around here? Do you talk to them a lot?
Yeah, I talk to them a little bit. There's a lot of people that work at the MacDill Air Force Base.
Okay.
My neighbor's in the Air Force. So we try to help out as best we can if we're away. We make sure there's no like papers on our doors. We do have a security guard who guards the gate at night. Good.
Do you know what the schools are like around this neighborhood?
Well, I understand there's some private schools and some pretty good public schools. Plant High School, I hear that's ranked very highly in the state of Florida.
Okay. Do you know what like the average level of education in your neighborhood is?
Well, definitely everybody has a high school diploma. There's a lot of college graduates, a lot of people that commute to downtown Tampa, bachelor's degrees, so there's a lot of educated people in the area.
So do you consider education to be important?
Absolutely.
Alright. Do you know what the racial makeup of your neighborhood is?
I guess you could say it's kind of a microcosm for Tampa. There's blacks, Latinos, whites, pretty diverse.
Do you think that affects you said this is upper middle class. Do you think that diversity affects the social class of this area?
I don't think so. There are a lot of hardworking people.
Alright then. So what kind of businesses are around this area?
There's a lot of, well, I said MacDill's just right down the road, so there's the military. There's a lot of good restaurants around the area. On West Shore, you're not too far from Bayshore Boulevard, so there's a lot of commercial industry over there.
Alright.
And not too far from downtown Tampa.
Okay. So the election happened just recently. Do you by chance know which way that this neighborhood itself swung? Was it more liberal? Was it more conservative?
Well, I'd say it probably more conservative than the rest of Tampa. There's a wide array of people that live in the area, and I think it represents most of America.
Do you believe that the people here have good health care right now? I'm assuming they have to have something if a lot of them are military personnel.
Yeah, there's a lot of healthy people, a lot of people at the gym,
Okay.
a lot of people doing walking their dogs outside, so they look pretty healthy. A lot of people at the pool.
Alright, so do you have any major problems in this neighborhood?
I haven't had one problem since I've lived here.
Okay. And what is it that you like about this area?
Well, we're right on the water, so that's nice. Beautiful pool. There's fishing. Good gym. Safe. Haven't had any issues in the area.
Okay. And what do your parents do for a living?
It's just my mom, and she's a teacher.
Alright. And what would you consider the social class of this neighborhood to be like?
Middle class, a little bit upper middle class.
Okay. And do you by chance know your neighbors in this area?
I know a couple of them, not too many, but I'm friends with several of them.
Alright then. Would you consider your neighborhood a safe place?
Yeah, for sure. There's always kids on the street, just hanging out, little kids, younger, so
Alright.
that's safe.
Do you believe that there's any danger whatsoever?
Not in the area that I live in, no.
Cool. And what are the schools like in this area?
Very stuck up, but other than that, they're fine.
And what do you think is the average level of education in this neighborhood?
I don't know, I'd have to say it's mixed. mean, you definitely got your lawyers and your blue-collar workers, and you got the white-collar workers as well.
Okay. How would you consider that education is important then?
Yeah, that's definitely.
Would you happen to know the racial makeup of your neighborhood?
Honestly, it's primarily white.
Alright. Do you think that has an effect on the social class?
Personally, not at all. I think that's all about your morals, principles, as far as safety.
Alright. Do people actually spend a lot of time working on their homes and their yards?
Yeah, it's very well upkept.
Okay. And what businesses can we find around here?
Right, we have little downtown Palm Harbor right over here, which has several restaurants, a couple bars.
Okay.
You know, there's Walmart right there, and then there's supermarkets around here. We got 19 right here, which has all these businesses, so
Okay.
find a good deal of diversity.
Would you by chance know if they're religious at all?
I've seen several nativities set up, so they're probably, majority of them are Christian.
Alright then. And do you believe that most people in this neighborhood have access to good healthcare?
Probably, by judgment of their possessions, yeah, they probably pay for good healthcare too.
Alright then. Do you by chance do you see them much? Do you see them often? Do they look relatively healthy to you?
Yeah, I usually see my neighbors at least a couple times a week, just when I pull into my neighborhood and whatnot.
Okay. And would you say that there's any major problems in the neighborhood?
Not at all.
Alright. Taking that into consideration, what do you like about it?
I personally, I don't know. I don't really look at it as a community, because we're not really a community. It's just more of a neighborhood.
Okay.
It's more of, it's my house. I just use it to sleep and live there basically. It's not really a community or anything.
Alright then. Well, is there anywhere else in the county that you'd prefer to live?
No, not really. I mean, I'm pretty much low maintenance, so I'm just happy with the roof over my head.
The surrounding areas by the water is upper class, and then upper middle by the center of
The neighborhood relatively safe, would you say?
It's very safe.
Awesome. Education is around here?
Well, thanks to downtown Tampa, it's usually bachelor's to grad students.
Alright. Do you think education is important for you?
It's extremely important, especially in this area. It counts what you know, but it also really counts who you know.
Do you see a lot of people spending a lot of time with their homes? Do you see them fixing things up? Do you see them spending time on that, or do you see them just kind of like, going about their day?
There's a good mix. I've seen a lot of people just want to drive around the island fixing up their places.
Okay. What kind of businesses are there in this area?
Davis Island has a lot of smaller businesses. There's a Subway, of course, but then there are your small restaurants and just your family-owned businesses.
Do most people in this neighborhood have access to good healthcare?
I believe they do.
Do you seem to think that a lot of them look pretty healthy to you?
Yes, a lot of people here look very healthy.
Do you believe that there's any major problems in this neighborhood?
No, not at all.
Awesome. And what do you actually like about it?
The safety in this area, and it's very quiet, and it's not too far from the city, but it's far enough where you can get away for a little bit.
Alright. And is there anywhere else in the Hillsborough County that you would rather live?
Not really. I really like Davis Island.